Alright, before this video starts, I want to apologize about the wind noise. I actually got outside to shoot this entire video, and my Video Mic Pro Plus was dead, which is weird because usually this mic never dies. It turns on and on with the camera. It's a phenomenal mic. It's what I use for all my professional work. But it was dead, so there is a little bit of wind noise because I was using the in-camera mic. But yeah, enjoy this video. Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Connor here, and I haven't made a video in a while, but I've got something pretty cool to show you guys. Ready to see it? Here she is. This is my new KX450F, and it is probably the scariest thing that I've ever gotten. Alright, I think it's time to roll some cinematic shots. So as you can see, this bike has a lot of stuff done to it, and it's not exactly the cleanest right now, but this is exactly how I picked it up. I just wanted to show it to you guys exactly how I picked it up. So as you can see, noticeably by looking at it, still has the stock plastics on it. We have a full DEP exhaust system with the power bomb header, carbon fiber exhaust. Now the engine was rebuilt. It has an Athena cylinder. The cams were just rebuilt. Everything internally was basically entirely redone with all the receipts. We've also got carbon fiber forks, and the suspension is set for about 180 pounds, which it really depends on how hard you ride and how much gear you're carrying. You can see as well that definitely could use some new tires, especially the back tire. I mean, the back tire is just getting shredded because of how much power this has. Up top, we've got Renthal bars. The hot start was remounted right here. Got an aluminum clutch handle. We've also got a nice hammerhead shifter, as well as a hammerhead rear brake pedal, which I need to drop that. As you can see with the angle of it, that's way above where it should be. So there's probably a lot of people wondering, especially a lot of my subscribers wondering why I got something like this. So, really? Gotta love trains. So basically back in the day, back in high school, I used to ride dirt bikes a lot, especially behind my house. My very first bike was a 2007 Suzuki DRZ 125L big wheel. That bike was a lot of fun. It was just really slow. Sold that. Got a 2003 KX100 two-stroke. That bike was probably the most fun I've ever had on a bike. It was small, it was lightweight, the thing had a lot of power. Once you hit the power band on it, it was just nuts. My neighbors didn't really like it so much because that bike was significantly louder than the DRZ 125. Sold that. And I was actually just looking around on Craigslist and this bike popped up. Actually, this bike popped up on Facebook Marketplace, so kind of was talking to the owner of it. And I ended up getting this for a really good price and couldn't be more happy with it. I mean, this bike, every single bearing was replaced, every single gasket was replaced, the bike was maintained, and other than it being a little dirty right now, the bike is just in phenomenal condition. And so I will be turning this bike into something really cool. I plan on bringing it to basically every Cars and Coffee in Delaware. So another question that's probably going to be asked a lot in the comments, and also probably a lot of people are going to hate on it, is why did I get a 450? Do I need it? No, of course I don't need it. This thing has way too much power as it is. Honestly, this bike is too fast for me. I mean, where around here am I going to be able to use all this power? Nowhere. Especially with how this is built. 2007 is actually one of the most powerful years, if not the most powerful year, that Kawasaki made their 450. And I want to say, when I was looking up numbers, it was sitting around 55 horsepower. This one is closer to 60. Alright guys, so one thing that I actually forgot to talk about was the specifics of the engine. When I was talking outside, I kind of missed some details because I'm basically saying that the bike is making more power than it came with stock. I'm basically going to talk about what was done to this to make it happen. So the bike was actually made by TSI Competition Engines, and basically on one of the services, the radiator was filled up with engine ice, and the oil that was used in the engine is a AMSOIL 1040. And then the entire Athena top end kit, changed out the spark plug, oil filter, cylinder head, what was that, dowels? You quote me if I'm wrong, but cylinder head dowels, that's what I'm reading. A new timing chain. Yeah, so those were all of the parts that were used. The cam is a stage 2 cam, and then it's using titanium valves, and basically everything was rebuilt to be more reliable and also put out a little more power. So I'll throw up the numbers on the screen right now. You can see that stock, it makes about 55 horsepower, and I want to say, I think it's 36 pounds of torque. It's something around the 30s, which, you know, that's pretty good. Actually, that's really good. That's a lot. It's definitely more than you really need. So yeah, this is my 2007 Kawasaki KX450F. I don't know why, I just forgot what this bike was. So the previous owner actually gave me 3 more oil filters. Gave me replacement oil seals, as you can see right here, brand new in the box. These are all brand new as well. And then he gave me intake valve and spring kits, which these are not cheap either. But he included all of this, as well as the old cylinder. There's a very minor, let's see where, if I can find it. There's a very minor indentation, which it's right there. You can actually see it. So in reality, some people who are building their bikes just for more so recreational use instead of racing would overlook that and just go ahead and put a new piston inside, but this was rebuilt the right way just so nothing would go wrong. So that's about everything done to this bike. I will be basically taking this entire thing apart, cleaning it, checking everything, making sure everything's the way it should be. Also, if you haven't seen my exhaust install video on my 2007 1/2 Duramax, I'll link it in the description. It's a really cool video. The results were just phenomenal. And also, if you're wondering, yes, I do have gear for this bike. I have boots, helmet, gloves, and proper riding gear. I will probably be investing into more gear, especially since this bike is much quicker, much more dangerous than any other bike I've owned. But always ride safe. No matter what, just ride safe. Yes, I was kickstarting it in shoes. Should you do that? Not really. It's not the safest thing to do, but always wear gear, especially if you're riding. So you can hear with how much it's backfiring, it just needs to be retuned. It's just running a little lean. I'll get those dialed in once I get the bike cleaned up, but this is my 2007 KX450F. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like. If you want to see actually what I do to this bike, it'll actually be really cool. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to make a whole video series on kind of maintaining this bike and transforming it into something really cool. So, thank you, take care, have a nice day. Catch you guys in the next one.